So in this question here, we want to find all the values where 1 is greater than 3x over x minus 2. So let's write it over here. 1 is greater than 3x over x minus 2. So automatically you're thinking multiply both sides by x minus 2. So then I've got x minus 2 is greater than 3x. Then try and get these x's on one side, so subtract x from both sides. Minus 2 is greater than 2x. And then simplify to get x on its own. Then I'll have minus 1 is greater than x, or easy to read is x is less than minus 1. Okay, now if we want to just test our solutions, let's just plug in, I don't know, let's plug in minus 5. So if x equals minus 5, does this inequality hold? So 1 is greater than 3 times minus 5 over minus 5 minus 2. So let's go down there in here. So 3 times minus 5, minus 15. Minus 5 minus 2 is minus 7. So 1 is greater than 15 over 7. Well, that doesn't look good. 1 is not greater than 15 over 7. So that is not the way to do it. So where did we go wrong? Well, first of all, if this here was a negative value, if we're going to multiply both sides by a negative, we'd have to change our inequality sign. So what we need to do now is change the way we go about solving this question and making sure we multiply by a positive number so we don't have to mess around with our inequality. So let's write 1 is greater than 3x over x minus 2. Now this time we're going to handle it different. To make sure we multiply both sides by a positive number, but also we want to get rid of this denominator, what we can do, if we make this denominator squared, we know it's going to be a positive number or at least greater than 0 if we eliminate the 2. So there's a lot going on in here in one step. So if we multiply by x minus 2 squared, that's automatically going to be a positive, but straight away we can see that we can't have x equals 2 because then we're dividing by 0. So let's just make this little note here, x does not equal 2. So if we had that, we got the 0. So we've got to eliminate that one straight away. So that's not going to be in our solutions. So now multiply both sides by x minus 2 squared. So if we just put this on the side as the operation we're going to do. Multiply this side by x minus 2 squared. We're still left with x minus 2 squared times 1, which is just as it is. Multiply this side by x minus 2 squared. If I just write it out, 3x, x minus 2, x minus 2. If I write it like that, it's going to be easy to see what's going on. So x minus 2 in the denominator and an x minus 2 here, they are going to cancel out. So I'm just left with this here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this bracket and expand this bit out here. So x minus 2 squared, that's going to give me x squared minus 4x plus 4 is greater, 3x times x is 3x squared, and minus 6x. So now my goal is to try and get everything on one side and set it to 0 because I'm going to be ending up with a quadratic term. So that's going to help me tremendously in the end when I'm looking for my solutions. So if I bring everything across and then make this side 0. So then I'm going to have 0 here and now bring everything across. 3x squared minus x squared is 2x squared. Minus 6x and then add 4x. That's going to give me minus 2x. And then I've got this plus 4, just send to the other side, minus 4. Okay, now we need to try and maybe factorise this if we can. But first of all, I can see we've got all factors of all multiples of 2. So I can take a factor of 2 out of there by dividing everything by 2. If I divide this by 2, I'm still left with 0. Divide all these by 2. Got x squared minus x minus 2. Now this I can see I can factor out. So 0 is greater than x and another x. So I need a plus and a minus because I've got this minus sign here. That's the first thing I can see. And because I've got a minus here, I need my bigger number to be with the minus sign. So I'm going to put minus 2 and plus 1. Okay. Okay, so now with that factorisation, but here I've got an inequality, what that's going to give me now is my x, looking at these numbers here, x is going to be less than 2, which doesn't come as a surprise because of this inequality, but it's going to be greater than this minus 1. And that's how we'll handle it when we're trying to deal with an inequality. So that's my solution there. If I was to draw that on a number line, I would have minus 1, 0, 1 and 2 and so on. Minus 1 is not included, the 2 is not included, and all the numbers in the middle there would all be included in my solutions. So that's how we represent it on a number line. Okay.